Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and hope everybody's having a good day out there today. And man, I really appreciate you guys making some time out of your day to watch the video. And we're going to be talking about the Zoom trick worm. Guys, probably one of the most famous plastic worms of all times. I've been fishing these things forever, and I've got quite a few things, like I call them secrets. They're things that I feel like they're pretty secretive things that will help you get more success on this. But what I want to do is I want to give you guys sort of a little seminar on everything that, how I like to fish a trick worm, colors, how I rig them, all that type of stuff, and really just share with you guys things that have worked for me with fishing this trick worm, because it's a incredible bass catcher most all year long. So we'll get into that in today's video. Also, guys, before we get started, just a quick invitation. I'd like to invite everybody to please consider hitting that subscribe button here to the Fishing Teacher. Free and easy to do so. And also, guys, please check out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns. We got all of our maps up on the site right now for all 4 seasons of the year. Great resources to learn more about your favorite lakes. So I'll put the Fish the Moment lake map breakdown link in the description of this video. Okay, guys, here, unless you live under a rock and you just started bass fishing, everybody knows the Zoom trick worm. I am going to say, out of all the bass catching lures that we have available to us, I think the 2 top lures that have stood the test of time over the past 30 years are a Zoom trick worm and a soft plastic stick bait like a Senko or something. But if you would say, it's like, Randy, you can have one lure that the only way you're going to survive is by eating the bass that you catch. If you can have one lure that you can fish, it would be a Zoom trick worm. I think that a trick worm is going to be the most versatile lure that you can use on any condition, because it works in 6 inches of visibility or 60 foot of visibility based upon the colors you're working. It's just an incredible fish catcher. It's a natural looking bait. It looks like a worm. There's no action to it. It doesn't telegraph itself. And that's one of the things about lures that withstand the test of time, is they don't telegraph themselves with certain noise vibrations and frequencies. They tend to be quieter like that works in a wider range of conditions. And the other lures are more situational. But the trick worm is one of those baits that, based upon how you rig it, you can catch bass on it 12 months out of the year. And there's very, very few lures that you can say that about. So that's just a little thing in there. But anyway, what I wanted to do today, guys, is I want to talk about, how I fish it, how I set it up, how I rig it, colors, and that type of stuff. Now, there's 2 different ways that, I like to fish a trick worm. One, probably my favorite way is on the shaky head. Shaky head is absolutely, I've caught more bass on a trick worm with a shaky head than about any other technique out there. You can also wacky rig it, just like a Senko. So that wacky rig, shaky head is a really, really good way to catch it. You can also fish a trick worm on a Carolina rig. A lot of guys, that have started out using lizards, they go to a trick worm if the fishing is a little bit tougher. And it is an excellent pitching and flipping bait. Casting, pitching, flipping, whatever. It's like, I have caught so many bass pitching and flipping a trick worm in whatever cover I'm fishing. It doesn't matter if it's docks, shallow grass, cattails, lay down trees. Just a great lure to pitch and flip in. Most of the time when I'm pitching and flipping it, I like it on a 3/16 sinker, because since this doesn't have any drag, a 3/16 sinker will, falls fairly quick with that. And then sometimes I'll use it down to a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an ounce sinker, especially if I'm fishing it like on real shallow cover. One of my favorite ways to fish a trick worm when I'm pitching and flipping it is get into dirty water, like that water visibility is probably 6 inches to 12 inches, and put a 1/16 or an 1/8 ounce sinker on the trick worm, Texas rig it, and it's just a real natural slow falling. It falls slow, but not like real slow. And it triggers the strikes in a wide range of conditions. And sometimes I'll fish it weightless, just with an EWG hook, just throwing it weightless like a weightless Senko. So that's some of the variations with it. Now, another thing about the trick worm, one of the things I found about it is color is extremely important. There's a ton of different colors. And also, guys, I'll link my Zoom trick worm link and the Tackle Warehouse link in my description of this video if you guys would like to try some of them. But there's a lot of different color variations, and there's a lot of different, times that they work. Now, they also make, I got them on my boat right now, but they also make a wide variety of like bright ones, like yellows and oranges and bubble gums for like the floating worm type fishing, but that's another category. What I want to talk about today is a traditional, just cast and flip and pitch and all that type of deal with it. Now, the Zoom trick worm, when you're talking about the color of it in correlation with the water clarity, it is super important because since this bait is diminutive, it's like the color has a lot to do with triggering a strike. And there's very few lures that I have seen that are so color sensitive in a soft plastic, line of baits than the trick worm. So I'm sort of going to talk about some of my favorite colors here. Now, the first one is it's probably my favorite color to fish if the fish bite it, and that's a solid black trick worm. The solid black trick worm, even though this is a small bait that doesn't put out vibration, is an excellent lure in dirty water. I have caught tons of bass on a black trick worm in water visibility of 6 inches to a foot. It's really, really good in the heat of the summer. So like if you have dirty water and it's hot, you've got shallow cover in the summertime, guys, try a black trick worm. It's really, really good. It also works good on a shaky head too. Now, I also use what's called the black sapphire. Now here's the difference. Here's the black sapphire, which is black with the blue flake in it, and here's the solid black. The black sapphire will work a little bit better in the stained water that is a little bit cleaner. So the solid black is going to work good in water visibility of less than, say, a foot, but the black sapphire is going to work really good in that water visibility of between a foot to a foot and a half. And I know that's like a 6-inch visibility window, but that's still significant. There's something about the flake in there, how that flake flashes in that little bit clear water, but still having the dark profile really works good in that foot and a half of visibility. Okay, the next one is sort of in the same lines. It works in the similar conditions, stained water, but again, it's a little bit cleaner. It gives you some more cleaner water options, is the red bug here. The red bug is one of my favorite pitching and flipping colors for shallow vegetate or shallow cover. And the time that I use the red bug is when that water visibility is like between a foot and a half to 2 feet. So we've got the solid black for under a foot, black sapphire to foot and a half, and the red bug for a foot and a half to 2 foot. The red has got some flake in it here. It's still a fairly dark color, but also it's a little bit more subtler than the black. And guys, I have caught so many fish on a red bug. Red bug is one of my favorite colors, plastic worms. Super, super good. Okay, the next one are two type of green pumpkin variations. You have the straight green pumpkin, and then this is the green pumpkin purple flake. Two different colors here, and you can see there's a slight color variation with it. Now, the green pumpkin purple flake one is probably one of my favorite colors for a little bit cleaner water. If I've got water visibility, say between 2 to 4 foot, I really, really like the green pumpkin with the purple flake. 2 to 4 foot of visibility, especially on some type of a little bit lower light day, say a 50% overcast or cloudy. Green pumpkin, any type of green pumpkin purple flake, green pumpkin red flake, really, really good. And then for water visibility of over 4 foot clarity, I'm usually using the straight green pumpkin. I don't really want the flash in that cleaner water. I want a more natural, just a straight green pumpkin or a straight watermelon in super, super clear water. If the water is like extremely clear, you'll notice quite a bit of difference in the bites you get between a green pumpkin and a watermelon. Watermelon is a little bit darker. So if I have water visibilities of over like 6 or 8 feet, the watermelon is going to be my main choice with that. But guys, you can't go wrong with it, man. If you've never fished a trick worm, it gets you a lot of bites. There hasn't been a single lake in the country that I fished anywhere where I cannot catch them on a trick worm. It works everywhere. You can also do a lot of different stuff with it, man. You can Nico rig it. Again, you can wacky rig it. You can bite it off at the egg sac and make it a little bit shorter, yet a little bit longer than a finesse worm. I use it on a spinnerbait. It's like I'll take one of the white ones, and a white trick worm on a spinnerbait is one of my favorite spinnerbait trailers to use. Works really good with that. Just a super good bait, super versatile. Again, I'll link everything in my Tackle Warehouse link, and hope it helps you guys catch some. We'll see y'all later.